All right, ladies and gentlemen, what you see here is a pin turning kit. Now, we all know, well, y'all might not, but I do, that I am not experienced on a lathe. Now, I have been playing with it, and just about everything I've tried so far is broken. So I'll show you a few. I was turning a disc golf marker yesterday, and as you can see, it got a little thin when I was trying to cut it off, and that happened. I've made a few, one or two that didn't blow up so far, and I've had two that did blow up so far, so I'll get better. But what I'm fixing to do is try to turn a pin. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna mark it out, cut it, drill it, hone it, whatever we gotta do. And then we're gonna go over there and we're gonna put it on the lathe, and we're gonna try to turn this into a gift for somebody at my wife's work. All right, we're gonna get busy doing that. I'm gonna find a pencil. You can always tell a carpenter is by his pencil. A lot of carpenters sharpen their pencils like this, but if a carpenter is actually a good carpenter and does trim as well, they sharpen their pencils like this. So, just the thing. We're gonna first mark it like everybody says. I don't know why. The grain never ends up looking the same anyway. We'll keep them in one direction. Now, from what I understand, you want to try to cut these as close as possible. I'm gonna give myself a little leeway. I'm gonna cut the first one off over the chop saw. Then I'm gonna come back and mark the second one because I'm gonna lose a little bit for the saw blade. So I don't wanna mark both of them right off and just go cut them both and end up with one that's short. So you know, I think I'm gonna take a little bit more off of that because if you can see, I got almost 3/4 of a saw blade too long, and that milling tool that they send with these things on this end grain, it's tough. I mean tough. So, especially this one. Well, no, this ain't the walnut. This is Bubinga. I've never worked with Bubinga, but I'm assuming it's pretty hard. The cut looks pretty tough. So we're gonna take a little more off of it. We'll see how close we are. That's pretty close. And there we are. Grain matches up again, supposedly. All right, now we got to go over to the drill, and we'll take the drill bit that they sent with this and the mill, which I've made. The kit comes with 3 pins. Here's the 2 original blanks. I've made three so far pins on this thing, and all 3 of them have turned out a little bit different. So we're gonna try to fix that this time. Just mark across it. Find your centers. Close enough. We're not going to be using but very little of the center of this wood anyway. By the time we finish this, 90% of this will be on the floor over there. And it'll be just a big mess for me to clean up. So that's always fun. And this thing's been sitting over here on my drill press for weeks now. About 2 of them, to be exact. Just gonna put it in there and make a little mark on center on both of them real quick. Oh, wait a minute. I think that we want to mark our centers in the middle is what I think. That way, in case the drill's a little crooked or whatever, the middle meets up right with the grain and all of that good stuff. Good enough. I think that's it. We got plywood pretty close to the center on the bottom. And I'm pretty sure you don't want to hold these things in your hand like that either. I think that'll be better for us right there. All right, now leave that little meal right here because we'll need it after we put the pieces in and the glue dries. So we'll go back over here, we'll sand it down and get it glued up. Now we're going to take these, and this is just some of that new 180 grit, what have you, sandpaper. We're just gonna rough this up. And there's a lot of ways. I've seen so many videos online of different ways to make these things. Modified and all kinds of ways. I'm not good enough to do all that yet. I'll keep playing with this lathe. I made a mallet on it earlier, and I made a handle yesterday for a new chisel I'm making. My neighbor made the mushroom, that wasn't me. But I did make that handle out of poplar right there that I'm going to put a homemade negative rake skew in made out of an old file. I forgot to pick up a 3/4 inch copper ring today though, so guess we'll pass on that one. For right now. But I think I'm gonna record that and let y'all see that too. I've done a lot of projects in the shop that I haven't recorded. Tomorrow is my birthday. I'll be 49 years old. Man, seems like time after you turn 30 just flies by. All right, so I know that we want to get these even on one end. I got something here that this super glue won't stick to. This is I don't know, it's a camper trailer cutting board. I'm not sure what the material is, UHMD or whatever it is, but nothing sticks to it, so we're going to use that. We're going to put some glue on here. That's never good. Super glue all over your fingers and stuff. Whew, that was a lot. There we go. Now, I'm not going to spray accelerator on this because I do know that accelerator makes this super glue extremely brittle. This is the next step though after that, is getting these pieces onto here. Then it's on to the lathe where I can set you ladies and gentlemen up over there and let y'all watch me make a clown of myself. And by the way, if you want to leave comments and tell me how I could get better at this faster, feel free to, because I definitely need the tips. My next door neighbor taught how to do this for years, but I see why he worked for the military, because he just goes, yeah, you'll learn. Keep making mistakes, which is always fun. I'm not sure if he just don't want to teach me or if he wants me to learn the hard way. But I like learning the hard way, so it doesn't really matter. All right, we're going to go over here. These are definitely not dry. That one's definitely not flush on either end. That one's flush on this end, not flush on this end. So I've already made one crucial mistake here by not getting both of them flush. Don't lose which end's which. I'll do this. That way I can't get confused. Back to the mill. This new motor on this drill press is very impressive. It's a one of the cheap Chinese motors. I'm not sure who makes it. can't read it way back there. But it's just the cheapest little motor they sell on Amazon that's 1 horsepower. And I've been impressed with it. It really works amazing. You can wire it up 110 or 220. And I don't think I was going to wire it 220. But I don't think I'm going to have to, because in 110 it seems to be working pretty good. Pay no attention to that. And like I say, this mill is not the sharpest tool in the shed for sure, but it works. I'm not gonna try that again. I'm gonna stick it on there like that. This is the one I messed up. Didn't get either end even. There it is. You can see it when it starts shining up. Sounds like one of the kids just hooked up a new amp. Should have never showed them how to build speaker boxes and stuff, probably. Never stops around here now. Of course, the youngest one asked me if I'd show him. There we go. Alright. Now, got all 4 ends done. We're good to go. Back to the mandrel. I think that's what they call this thing, is a mandrel. Alright. See if I remember right. 1 bushing. And then the side that's the bottom or the top, or whichever side you're doing. Then a bushing. Then this piece that goes with the X to the X, you can see there. And then there's supposed to be another bushing, but apparently I just lost it. I'm gonna have to go back to the video here. Ah, there it is. All right, and then this thing here to lock them all together. You get that good and tight, like so. All right, there it is. It is ready for the lathe now. Let's get that going. And y'all feel free to make fun of me if you want to after this video in the comments. As long as y'all hit the like and subscribe button, I don't really care. Actually, I don't really care anyway. Sure helps out though to the ones that do subscribe. And I tell you what, now that I've got this lathe, I can make you a different type of mallet. I can make you a carver's mallet or whichever one you want when it's I guess my neighbor made this. I'm not sure what that's for. He's planning on making something on the lathe. He's done put an Allen wrench into a dowel. Not sure. Not sure. This big old bucket of tools down here belongs to him. And this little bitty rack of tools up here belongs to me. All right, let me sharpen this. I'll be right back. All right, that should be good. Let's get this a little closer. We'll get to about right there, and it looks like it needs to come up just a hair to about right there. That looks okay, I guess. Now, yeah. Let y'all have a look at that piece. So it's going to be a slimline pin, but I'm going to try to leave it fat in the middle right there to give them a little bit more to hold on to. That one right there is to the point that I can start sanding it down. Now this one here I'm just going to take down from here and probably make it the same all the way across. But I do definitely like putting that in there for people that are a little bit older. Just gives them a little something to hold on to instead of that little super skinny pin. I almost wonder how it would look if I gave the bottom the same shape. See, I have some of these carbide ones, and kind of I know they say these are more beginner friendly, but for some reason I just don't like the way they cut. I'd rather use Mr. Mark's tools. All right, we're to the point now that all we gotta do is sand it down. I'm gonna slow this down a couple of hundred RPMs. Right about 600, no, about 500. I gave the top end of the pin kind of the same shape, but not so drastic as the bottom. got a very bad habit of not wearing a mask when I sand and stuff. Base Camp sent me a couple of their masks. I've actually used it a few times, and I'm here to tell you I'm addicted to Afrin. I never wear a mask. The only time I do is when I'm cutting brick, and I usually wear the big giant respirator thingy hanging over there. But I cut some brick the other day, cutting some flashing in a chimney, and I wore that mask all day while I was cutting the Base Camp mask. I want to cut it open now, and they didn't pay me to do this or anything, so I want to be truthful about it. I want to cut it open now and just see what all that thing caught while I was cutting brick and sawing on brick, because that's one of the nastiest things that I do, is cut holes in brick all the time. Alright, we're going to turn that off and stop it. Mr. Mark says that this thing has reversed for a reason, and that I'm supposed to be using it while I'm sanding, so we're going to do it in reverse like he said. See what difference it makes. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm hitting it with 600 right now. The neighbor also tells me I'm crazy for that. That 320 is enough, but I'm a fanatic about sanding. I don't like having to put a lot of finish on wood. My wife don't mind putting finish on wood, but I don't. I like the pins because you can finish them in a few minutes. This is another thing I seen somebody on YouTube doing, was stopping and sanding it like this. I can see why now. I haven't done that to the first couple I made. But it takes all these goofy rings off of here. I don't know what this is supposed to do, but everybody does it. Mr. Mark says burnish the wood. It does make it shine, that's for sure. I don't know what it's doing, but Mr. Mark tells me I'm supposed to do it. Fixing to say I'm having a problem finding wood chips at the lathe, but I'm literally standing ankle deep in wood chips, so you could literally almost just press that together. Except for spots like that and that. We're gonna make it look better. We're gonna do this CA glue thing. that everybody does. Turn this lathe down and get a napkin, and we'll get a couple of coats of CA glue on it. See if that makes it look better. You don't want the lathe turning real fast for this step, I don't think. Definitely don't want this CA glue in your face and in your eyes. It burns like hell. I think that's all we're supposed to do there. You can already see the difference. Is that raining? Whew, it's storming at my house, fellas. That should be ready for a second coat by now. Gotta be careful, fellas. This stuff dries quick. You don't want to put too much like I just did. Then you gotta sand it back off. Learn that. Look at that. That's looking really good. My wife decided to make a bunch of noise over there in sand for y'all to hear. Well, that CA glue sure does burn. Now I'm gonna hit this with the 600, soaking wet, and take some of this back off and smooth it out. Because I got way too much on it. Not good at the CA finishing thing. Yep, gonna have to go bigger and better. Might have to take it all the way back. Maybe not. We'll find out in a minute. Probably. This is a worn out piece of 220. Really worn out. Smooth again. Now back to the 600. There we go. Now I'm starting to see it. Oh yeah, that is super smooth. I and super shiny. I think I want to do one more coat. If I can find a good spot on my napkin. Maybe it'll rain enough. I'll get to see if my new French drain system works out here. Let me just dry that up real quick. I can see the previous coats for sure. This is definitely going to be the last coat. Here, I think that's about 4 good coats and a couple sandings. There we go. That looks excellent. Now, put these up. Now we'll get it off the lathe. I just thought I was holding on to it. Now, I don't have, ladies and gentlemen, a pen press. So I'm going to use this quick clamp here. going to go with this black chrome look. If you just take your time with this thing, they go together pretty easy, especially if you deburr them, which I didn't do. So that makes it a lot easier. Okay. The next step was something. I don't know. Oh yeah. Got to put this thing in. This thing has to go in all the way to that line right there. If you'll just done. Easy as pie. Then you put your ink pen in, screw it down. A little collar will go over that. Then you get this piece, got a little clip thing, and this piece. And take that around to right there over that lighter spot in the wood, because that went in rather easy. Turn it just a hair, and right there, the grain lines back up, and done. A fat tip ink pen.